Semi-finals then here in Nanjing in China, about to get underway with our first match. Turkey with the serve in red, playing from left to right. It's a dream start for Turkey.
Ace on the libero 23, and that's how you can see she's actually normally not playing in the libero position, so she's a bit nervous.
Practice a good start for Turkey. Swing hitters, the outside spikers for the American team. So used to passing the ball and service reception that it's not unusual to see them transfer to the libero position. So onto the floor, captain gets her first point. Quite surprised to see her start this one, but Jordan Larson's so comfortable.
Yeah, she's a two-time Olympian, I think, so she's definitely got plenty of experience, and she'll know a lot of the players on the other side because she's played her club volleyball in Turkey for several years now. So she'll be comfortable looking at the faces on the other side.
Murphy, left-hander, two left-handed opposite players for the USA. So key to their offense on the right side of court, but Turkey did this to them in May. Shut down those wing spikers very effectively. Five back of the service line. Serving strongly, Turkey. So may come once again, getting the second go at this. Setter out of the equation. And another good pickup, good positioning here from this Turkish team. But
nice,
at last, USA get control of the ball.
And they run such a fast offense that I think it's really hard for the other team to even see that kind of ball coming. That's straight down the middle. Blockers don't really have a chance to close when it's that quick.
Give them eye. Decent serve, but a good strong response through the middle from Turkey. We're going to see a lot of this today. And Zara Güneş, great blocker, but good in offense there.
Yeah, definitely. Kylie tried to take it with her hands overhead, and you could see it was just a little bit too strong. It just sort of went off her fingers. It was a good effort.
Turkey 3-2, best of 5 sets in each of our matches. 25 points is the target. So plenty of volleyball to come in this one, and Murphy gets her first point on the scorecard.
Nice snap. She didn't look that comfortable on that attack. It looked like it was a little bit out of her comfort zone, but she just used a quick snap of the wrist, and sometimes that's all it takes.
Well, ace for the USA. That'll calm some nerves because they will be feeling it coming into this Pool B encounter with Turkey. And they also lost, remember, to Serbia in June. So the two opponents they play in Pool B are two opponents, the only two opponents they've lost to this season. Good height through the wing. Yeah, nicely used. Kimberly Hill, the Morocco volley player, gets the ball.
She can see, if you look at her face, you can actually see where the blockers are, and she turns it at the last minute down the line.
Nice work off the block and out. So Meryem Bosch, Turkey's most experienced player in that opposite position. That's another point to her impressive VNL tally. That's heading towards the 200 mark now. And it is Bosch to serve.
Bit too tight. That's a really hard ball to set. If the setter has to jump and basically try and take the ball from the other side of the net, she's not going to get a lot of precision on it, and I think that was the problem there.
Going for the slide D with the middle attacker, in Rodeo. Lloyd likes to set a fast, flat ball, and it has to be precise.
Yeah, a pass like that is perfect.
Still in play. Good defense from the USA. And again, backline offense, though, is blocked.
She was out of rhythm. You can see the difference when someone approaches for a ball and they've got a full run up and sort of take the ball high and hard, but it looked like she was the ball was a little bit behind her when she took off, and she couldn't really get a full swing on it.
So Larson stopped. Monster block from Turkey. Played by Lloyd. But again, not that accuracy for the US hitters to really go at the ball. And Turkey recycled that one easily.
snap.
That's a better speed from Ismail Gluck through the wing. 78 kilometres per hour. We'll see spikes harder than that, though, during the course of this week. Gosh, into the net. Well, it's frustrating because Turkey were heading to the first technical timeout in good shape there, but the USA have a chance to just level the scores back up.
Especially at a moment like that when the passers are feeling the pressure and they haven't been getting perfect balls to the setter. You just need to make them play the ball.
Out off the block, and Turkey go into the first technical timeout with a 2-point cushion. So Turkey so into the game, not even realising it's the technical timeout. 1 minute break at 8 and 16 points for the two teams. First chance for the coaches to chat, and a chance for me to talk to Kira about your early impressions of this game. Decent start from Turkey.
Yeah, decent start from both teams. I think, as I said, I think the reception on the US side is causing them a bit of problems. It looks like Carly's not really comfortable. She can't get her hands on a lot of balls, and that makes a huge difference for the offensive play because they can't run the fast balls. You saw a couple of mishits. The middle went behind the setter, and just there was a bit of misconnection. I think that all starts from the pass, the reception.
Kira, Michael with me all week as we watch some fantastic VNL action unfold. 2 pools of 3. The top 2 will go through to the semi-finals on Saturday, finals on Sunday. And it really is anyone's title. This is wide open with the quality of teams that we have here. Solid blocking start from Turkey then. That's what they're looking to do, stop these US attackers and cause the pass as much problem as possible from the service line. And Karch Kirai has to think about a way through this very tricky game. Now, take a look at these rotations. As we move through our 6 rotations for the USA, that's a relatively straightforward one for Carly Lloyd. So easy for her to get into position, but there's 2 points at which she has to stack. 2 rotations where she stacks Kira. She's got a long way to run and a lot of players to get past, and I think Turkey are going to pick on that today. So we'll keep an eye on those rotations as they come. Back to the service line. Safety goggles off for Akinradeo. She hands them to the libero, Robinson, who vacates the court. And a good piece of defence from the middle blocker. Heavy swing cross-court from Larson. A comfortable start at the moment for the American captain. They never stop with the information, the coaches. Coach Kirai trying to feed as much into the machine as he can.
Good rally. Oh, a bit of miscommunication.
Go for Turkey. And another pickup for Akinradeo.
That's good defense from middle blocker.
And the roll down the line is out, unfortunately. Larson, not much of an angle to work with, trying to spin that one into play. It misses the shot, but decent rally.
It looked like she tried to take a little bit of power off of it, because sometimes you'll see both sides sort of power, hit, and then just every once in a while you've got to take something off. You've got to give a roll shot and show your opponent something different.
Captain back to the service line. Really Adam done that for Turkey.
That's what they need.
That's impressive. Give them eye on that slide D. USA use this attack quite a lot, the middle player running around the back.
Yeah, and normally they'll play that sort of play when the setter is front row, because she only has 2 attackers to use. So she'll run one of them behind, one of them in front, and a backcourt attack. And that's what they've done there.
Lloyd into the back line. So 3 tall blockers in the front court for the USA for the next 3 rotations. Can they make it count? Well, they certainly do off that attack. Larson cleverly rolling it into the block for the point. Giovanni Guidetti asks, why? Well, you have to penetrate, don't you, at the net with those hands as a middle blocker.
Yeah, definitely. And if you just sort of go straight up with the hands, you're gonna get used, because at this level, attackers know if you're not up and over the net, then the attackers are just going to use the ball and send it off.
Powerful spike from Larson, but just long. Now, are the USA going to have a look at this? Because One thing we haven't mentioned yet are the challenges. 2 challenges per set. And if you challenge it and you're correct, you hold on to your challenge. If you challenge and you're wrong, you lose it. Turkey 10-all with the USA in this opening game of the Volleyball Nations League finals here in Nanjing in China. And if this is a sign of things to come, Kira, then we're in for a cracking week.
Yeah, it's good volleyball so far. That last one, it looked like Bosch didn't really have much of a chance. The ball was so inside that the blockers were there and ready and completely set up before she even attacked it. So she got shut out of that one.
That's why Lauren Gibbermai is leading the blocking stats for Team USA at the moment. Good shot on the line from Bosch, though, just changing it up, hitting from the left side of court. Normally, though, right-sided player in that opposite position.
Yeah, there's one rotation where she'll have to play on the outside because of the reception, because of the lineup, how it works. But she's definitely more comfortable out of the right side.
So everything Turkey do, USA managed to counter, and this is what we expect to see in world-class volleyball. We expect to see points traded all the way through the set. Gibbermai to serve.
Ooh, that's a free point for Turkey. But you'll see that actually, so people are surprised at how many times you'll see missed serves, but the servers are just thinking, I want to put pressure, I want to put pressure, so there's a higher chance for error.
Ganesh. A decent pass from the USA, but can't get the first attack away. And this one's been defended as well. Second go for Turkey. And it's still in play, but not quite recovered. And I think we're going to see a carry called by the referee. The ball just dwelling on the arm a little bit too long, and you're not allowed to do that.
Yeah, a bit of a scramble play.
Referees can make 2 subjective calls, the double touch and the carry. Not many sports where that actually happens. Oh dear. Well, that rotation that caused a few problems for the USA at the start of the game leaves Robinson exposed, and she's got to be stronger on service receive than that.
Yeah, and as I said, it's not a comfortable position for her. I mean, she has said she's happy to do anything for the team. She's definitely, if coach asks her to do that, she's happy to do it, but I think she is more, she is an outside hitter by trade, so she's still finding her footing a little bit in that libero position.
Another cushion for Turkey here. Bosch has to just tip that over. Murphy in off the wing. Oh, that's clever hitting. That wasn't the easiest ball to hit, and she's had a good look through the net there.
Yeah, it was a little bit inside, I think, for her. And she's just taken it down the line, used the hands of the block, and somehow still found the court. But even if it had landed out of court, the block had touched it, so it's USA's point either way.
Change up. In comes Annie Drews. Now, double substitution that we often see used here by Team USA. Misha Hancock comes in as the new setter. And then Drews comes in to replace the setter Lloyd in front court. Effectively, USA going to extend their run of tall blockers in the front line. Sometimes works, sometimes doesn't, but it's a good substitution.
Yeah, you'll see it a lot in volleyball. It's typical, as you said, just to put 3 hitters back in the front court and the setter in the back court, so that you've always got effectively 4 hitters if you count the one in the back court as well.
Overpass dispatched, and still USA service reception looking a little fragile.
And there was nothing, the setter, you could see she might have wanted to block that, but she can't actually jump because she is backcourt, and if she jumps and tries to block that attack, then it'll be called.
Yeah, that would have been a fault, so all that Hancock could do was stand there with her hands in the air. Second technical timeout arrives then, which is always our chance to just drop in on the coaches and listen to how they're communicating.
Okay, just try to be perfect, other thing. Attention, 3 attacking. Okay, second one, 3 attacking.
Well, 3 points already on the board for Turkey's leading scorer, Meryem Bosch. which takes her to 200 points scored in the VNL so far this season. And she will be the player that can do the most damage to the USA today. She will be the go-to player on that right side of court. And as one of the more experienced athletes out there, she'll be able to cope with the pressures that will come towards the end of the sets and the match. Class player.
Yeah, definitely. I've seen a lot of her just in the last couple of weeks. She's a really all-around kind of player. She can hit power, she can hit roll shots, she can hit little dinks over the block. She's strong in the block. She's definitely an all-around player.
Now let's see if she can hit a serve.
Now we've jinxed her.
It's a good serve, but well passed by Robinson, and a great pickup from Akos. Oh, super rally and super finish from Turkey. Well, we did see the benefit there of a specialised libero, as Karch Kirai calls a timeout in that last rally. Akos in the right position at the right time. So 17-13, first timeout called by a coach. And it's an interesting timeout zone for the Americans.
Number 9, 3 PP when we can. Stay low and tight. Don't give her too much, okay?
You got the laid-back, laconic Karch Kirai with his pearls of wisdom, followed immediately by Lucas Slade, the assistant coach, who comes in with the facts and the figures and tends to be a little more animated.
Yeah, I think he's more of the stats man. He'll, like as you said, he'll come up with the facts and the figures and sort of. He'll direct the game a little bit more, as in tell the girls who's been hitting, who's been scoring, where they need to focus on their block, which ones, and which direction, sort of down the line.
Well, as always is the case, the timeout serves as some kind of stoppage to the server's mental process. Get a lot of service errors after timeouts, not unusual, and Bosch goes into the net. But as a middle blocker yourself, you need information, don't you?
Yeah, definitely. I think every position on the court needs information and a little bit of direction. I mean, the girls will have had several days to have studied their stats sheets, and they will have had at least 5 pages full of information on the tactics and the techniques and of the team that they're going up against. But in the moment, in the timeout, you want to know what's going on right now in this game.
A bit of information exchange there, and that's the coach, Guidetti, telling the server where he wants them to serve. So that's either position 1. It won't be player 1 because that's Hancock, the backup setter. And it's a serve that has worked. Turkey get another go. And the tip finds the floor. And as we go into the business end of this opening set here at the VNL Finals, it's Turkey that have taken control against the USA. And these are worrying times for the number 2 seeds.
Look, anything can happen. They've come back from some pretty big deficits in the last couple of weeks in some of the games that I've seen, but it's anyone's game. I think, yeah, definitely Turkey will be feeling confident right now, and the USA will be looking to find some different tactics. See what'll make it work.
Good block. Well, we talked about the block before the start of this game, and Erdem there has just put up a huge wall against Akın Radea.
It was a little bit low, I think, the set for her. She looked like she was a little bit cramped. But that's the responsibility of the middle attacker, to find some sort of angle around the block. Even if the set's low, you just got to tip it over. You got to find a solution that isn't just hit directly onto the wall.
Second USA timeout called by Karch Kirai. He's got something else to say. Interestingly, the 2 games that they did lose this year, the message in the timeouts from Karch Kirai was almost like a broken record to the blockers. Reach over, don't reach up, and be a target.
Yeah, and you'll hear every coach say that. It's one of the main sort of pillars of blocking, is that you need to go over the net. Otherwise you're literally just a target for the attacker.
It's so easy to say, isn't it, from the commentary booth? It's tough down there on the floor. Good serve, it's in the corner. USA have the option to challenge if they want, and some coaches have been using challenges when they have them as a way to stop the game, but not on this occasion. No challenge forthcoming, and this first set drifting away from the Americans. Good serve from Ismailoglu. Better coverage this time from the USA. A touch given to Turkey. Another point goes on the scoreboard as they move ever closer to this first set. 25 points the target, remember. Barch Hackley looking rather forlorn on the bench there. Not started in this game. She must surely start set two.
If not, be subbed in the next couple of points. She's on the bench, which means Karch has sort of called her from the gallery to be ready to go in, which she will be happy to do, I think.
Chomping at the bit to get in, and there she is, Barch Hackley, but not coming on for the play you'd expect her to come on for. In for Akinradeo, I suspect, for serve and defence. And that's just a wrong call on the numbers then. That caught us all out, and this substitution, I think, will be cancelled. It was supposed to be for Larson, and it wasn't signalled correctly, so not a lot going right at the moment for Team USA, and a yellow card for that infringement into the bargain.
Everyone looks a little bit confused, and I have to say I'm a bit confused as well. I'm not sure what happened there.
Well, communication from the coaches to the second official. Not just verbal these days, but computerised as well. And that substitution not allowed to happen, but it would have been a bizarre one if it had happened. Akinradeo stays on court and serves. Backline offence from Bosch, and that is as good as it gets. Super spike. Turkey now just 2 points away from this first set. Alicia Hancock on until she gets to the front line, and then Carly Lloyd will come back into the action. Oh dear, and Robinson off her arms and into the crowd. Another ace for Turkey.
That looked like a miscommunication. There's sort of zones in reception, and if two players overlap, then that's where you get both of them sort of lunging at the same ball, and it goes off the arms.
Yeah, Dim.
Ooh, that's lucky for USA.
Well, they'll take that because it's a stay of execution in this first set. Plenty of set points available. There's that reversal of the double substitution, so Lloyd back on in the back court, Murphy on in the front court. And that's how the USA prolong the number of big blockers in the front line for as long as possible. It hasn't worked, though, for the moment. Lloyd to serve. Bosch. Good defence from Robinson. And Larson this time manages to spin the ball down the line. Very nice shot from her.
Nice little bit of finesse.
We like some finesse, don't we? Guidetti didn't like it, though, coach of Turkey. Now, can they finesse their way back to 24-all? That's a huge ask. And there we go, first set to Turkey, and I have to say, in relatively straightforward circumstances, 25 points to 17. And Turkey lead the opening game of the VNL finals here in Nanjing in China over the USA by 1 set to love. Well, there was the last point of this opening set. It's gone to Turkey, and it's all good at the moment for this Turkish team. Let's enjoy some of the highlights. So great opener for Turkey, and pretty much all the stats in their favour. Good service line pressure, a couple of aces in there, blocking particularly effective as well from this Turkish team, and then with the likes of Bosch just keeping the scoreboard ticking over on side out, which is when you receive the ball from your opponent and put it away. Now, something that the USA are probably going to have to take a little look at is their serve placement, which has been rather too easy at the moment for this Turkish team to receive and put into offence. And in terms of the Turkish serve placement, no surprise there, Kira, to see them pressuring position 1 on that right side.
Yeah, definitely. They will definitely be going for the outside hitters. They're going to want to make them pass before they attack, because if they put the ball on the libero, she doesn't have any responsibility after that except to cover her hitters. So they'll definitely be going for the 2 wing spikers who have to pass and then follow it up with an attack.
So good, straightforward tactics from Turkey, and they're working at the moment. USA have to counter that. Suspect we will see their star hitter, Michel Barge-Hackley, come into the fray at some point. We're just looking down there onto the court to see which starters are out there. Kelly Murphy's held her place. Larson and Hill keep their place through the wing. So that's the wing spikers. And Gibbermeyer and Akinrodeo didn't do a lot wrong through the middle, with Carly Lloyd in the playmaking position. No need for Turkey to make any changes because they were superb in that opening set. They lead the USA by 1-0 here in Nanjing. And the team that won the prelim competition topped the league in the Volleyball Nations League, Team USA. At the moment, not in this match. Away we go then with set 2. And first point once again on the board to Turkey in red, playing from left to right in this second.
Yeah, and that's an example where she just looked at the block, saw the hands were high, and just tipped it and used basically the hands of the blockers to get the point without having to use power.
Zara Gunes to serve. Superb first set for her in the block. 3 points at the net. And another wonderful press from both blockers, and Erdem once again shuts down the outside.
She is a great blocker. She's got, I'd say, almost perfect form as far as a middle blocker is concerned.
Great shot from Barge. Picking the line, had the space to do it, and a good kill. USA are going to have to be very careful in this match. And at the moment, the situation running away with them. Robinson, better pass. And a better offense overall from the USA, coming through the middle of the backcourt.
Yeah, and that's an example where, since she did get a good ball in, Carly had all her options available. So she had her middle, she had her outside, and then she could bring a fast pipe and put the defense of the other side a little bit off.
That's on the floor now. Turkey might challenge this and say they think that the pancake, as we call it, was effective, sliding the hand underneath the ball, but Coach Guidetti says no, we'll take that one on the chin. It did hit the floor. USA picking up a couple of quick points.
And that's the thing with the challenge system, is that players have to be honest. They have to be honest with their coaches, with the refs, because if they call a challenge, they know they're going to be caught.
A serve from the USA. Yes, remarkably though, it did take the players about a year to suss that out.
There used to be a lot more arguing with the refs before challenges came in.
Well, it's been a very effective introduction of technology. Well done to the FIVB for introducing it into big competitions like this. And this is better from the USA. Gibbermeyer getting that block closed down and shutting the diagonal. And we're seeing a lot of really good middle blocking at the moment out there on court. It's not just about height. I know they're the tallest players on court generally, but it's not just about height, middle blocking.
No, it's definitely not. I'm a bit biased, and I think it's one of the more difficult positions. But it's about footwork, it's about being strong in the air. You sort of have to read your setter on the other side. There's just a lot of there's a lot that goes into it. It's not just about being told.
5 weeks of having a laugh at the middle blocker's expense, and now I've got to watch my words. I've got a world-class middle blocker alongside me in the commentary booth, Kira Michael, and a fine kill from Murphy. This is going to be key to the USA getting through this game. The right side has to start putting the ball away.
Yeah, definitely. The right side and the outside are the two sort of point scorers, or should be the point scorers of the team. You want to have the fast attack always an option, but generally more balls are going to go to the wings, and those players have to find a way to sort of save maybe more difficult balls. The out-of-system balls is what we call them.
2 good quick points there for Murphy in that opposite position, so that takes her tally to 5. Just blocking this wayward set, but a lot of pressure on the setter with that wayward pass, so Osbey doing the best she could. 6-4 USA, Gibbermeyer with the serve. Oh, nice attack, and Bosch at the moment remains fundamental to this Turkish offense.
That was a great swing from that court.
She's a superstar, and that's what the VNL has certainly uncovered and showcased during the course of this season. The biggest players on the planet at the moment, and they're all here in Nanjing. Easy ball, free ball for Turkey. And a beautiful run around the back of the setter for a good kill from Dunda. Who'd be a coach, eh? It's a tough gig.
Well, if you love volleyball, then
It's a great job. Absolutely. 6-all. Once again, teams trading the points. Murphy. That's better. 3 in a row from Murphy, and that looks like a lot more stable volleyball through the right side.
yeah, they look like they're finding their rhythm a little bit. When these two teams met earlier on in this tournament, it was the first week of play, and as all the coaches have been saying, the players didn't really have as much time as they would have liked to sort of get their rhythm together, and now they're sort of 6 weeks that they've been together, 6 or 7 weeks in the summer, so they should know each other a little bit better, and their rhythm will start to find it.
Yeah, the team machines should be purring nicely here in Nanjing. Beautiful. Oh, well picked up though.
Good cover.
Another chance for Turkey here. No, it didn't quite work in the middle, so USA get another go through Hill. She just over-rotates as she hits that one out of court.
Might have been a touch on that.
Well, may see a challenge. They've always got that challenge option, but it doesn't look like the USA have gone for the buzzer. And we just go into the first technical timeout in set 2. And this one, once again, evenly matched in the early part of the set.
So Car's ready for that too. So good. We're gonna have more chances. Keep working in trans. Get distance off of that. We're gonna get good on. Yani adam başa koştuğu sistem. Tamam mı? Hatta
Generally speaking, Coach Guidetti communicates in English with a bit of backup from the assistant coaches in Turkish. And some wonderful courtside cameras, the ref cam and also the high motion camera that can bring us just a little closer to the action, give us a different perspective down there close to the floor. And that's where you really see the athleticism of the players. These guys hitting the ball at tremendous heights. And that's what puts the block under pressure. The contact points for a lot of these players are so far above this 2.24 net.
Yeah, definitely. If you can sort of hit over the block, you've won half the battle. And a lot of these players are so tall that the block has to penetrate, and they've lost a little bit of height there. So the players are aiming to hit over the block, ideally, if not around.
I reckon Rodeo does that again, but the defence position well for Turkey. Osbey, no, that didn't work to Bosch, so free ball to the USA. And that's how you do it. Good fast set outside to Hill, and Hill puts it away.
And the coach will be happy with that because, as you said, when you do get a free ball, you have to convert that into a point at this level. And that's exactly what USA did just there.
Tall. Hill to serve. 5 points at the moment to her name in this game. Murphy has 6, Larson has 6, Gibbermeyer has 4 for the USA. So workload being evenly shared. Good recycle, another free ball to the USA though. And tipped for the point by Larson.
I think she saw that well-formed block in front of her. Just tipped right over and knew there wouldn't really be anyone there.
That was close to the line. It's been given in, so Turkey have to challenge this one. And Coach Guidetti says press the buzzer. And we're going to get our first challenge, I think, of the Volleyball Nations League finals. And the question that Turkey will be asking Hawkeye is, did this ball hit the line or was it out? I have to say, on first impressions, it looked into me.
I didn't see it from this angle, but I just know that even if it touches the line, even in the most minute form, it's in, which sometimes from the human eye is just impossible to see.
And there we go. What do I know? Ball's out, and ball's out by a long way. What a great call by the Turkish team. And what a great call by Coach Guidetti, who immediately agreed with his players and instructed the challenge to be activated. So, one challenge from Turkey. It was successful. They keep it. They also take the point. Everything going their way at the moment. Osbey in the back line, so have to be a bit careful with that one. No. Tried to get it off the net and back into play, but didn't work. And USA recovered the situation. Off come the safety goggles. There they go, handed over to Robinson, the libero. I like the way the two middle blockers, Adams and Akinradeo, work that move.
Well, I guess they just don't need them for serving. There's no threat of injury when it's just you and the ball.
But both of them jump so high, faces well over the top of the net, easy to get hit by the offense. That's why they wear them. And there we go. Minus the goggles. Akinradeo to serve. She's defended well so far, but won't get a chance to do so after that serve. And there's no real rhythm at the moment in this US performance.
Yeah, it looks like both teams are having a bit of a struggle with finding their rhythm. There seems to be a run of points and then a run of errors for both sides. That's a good cover.
Good pick up from Hill. Murphy can't get the full swing on it, but still gets it into court. 4 points in a row for Murphy.
And depending on how the coach has set it up, one of those two players will be kicking themselves because it was a perfectly formed block. That means one of the players behind the block is responsible for that tip, whether it was the libero or 13 in that position. But it looked like there was a bit of a communication problem. They were both there, but they looked at each other and the ball fell.
Yes, with power, Turkey have been comfortable in defence, picked up a lot of the US attacks, but they've been a little suspect shorter on those tips. And Bosch with her first error of the game, but a nice line-up on the block from Larson and Gibbermeyer. Osmay will be disappointed with that set. Didn't get it to her star player. US setter Carly Lloyd with the serve. Good couple of rotations for the USA now. Wide from Bosch, 2 hitting errors in a row.
Are they going to call a challenge?
I certainly don't think it was in the court, but it was just whether it hit the blocker's arms. And while the challenge goes into process, the coach uses the timeout wisely to talk to setter Osbey. So Turkey's second challenge. I think this one a little more speculative than the first, but the same rules apply. If it touches the block, it's point Turkey. If it's missed, it remains point USA. Here we go. Yeah, that's caught the little pinky on the way past of Larsson. And that will be Turkey's point. Two phenomenal challenges. And Coach Guidetti on the far side of the action won't have seen much there, but it's a great call, and Boz gets away with it. So it isn't two errors from the opposite player for Turkey. Not the reverse in the end. Güneş to serve then. What a player she is. Just 18 years of age, but doesn't play like that in the front line. No, too low from the Americans in attack again. They are rather feeding this Turkish block here.
Yeah. Sometimes when the ball is a little bit too tight, it looked like Larsson in that instance didn't really feel like she could get a full attack on it. She sort of just tried to push it into the block in the hopes that her teammates would be there to cover her. But in this case, it didn't work.
Well, perfectly legitimate tool in your arsenal, the reuse play, just to get that ball back into some kind of attacking option. Into the net tape from Gibbermeyer. USA would have to challenge this now. 4 touches against them. They may request a challenge to see if it touched the middle blocker. Lauren Gibbermeyer absolutely adamant that it did. And they're going to have a look at this one. So USA's first challenge of the match. Did this touch the blocker's arms and come back into play? If it did, then we're going to replay the point.
Touch.
There we go. Good call, USA. 3 challenges, all 3 successful across both teams. Karchkirai's team can play that one again. Well, Gibbermeyer absolutely certain that that had gone over the net and touched the arm, and she was right. Güneş to serve again. Good high contact point from Gibbermeyer. One ball killed successfully.
That's what they were trying to do the first time. I think that the set before might have been just slightly low for Lauren, but that one she can just go straight through the hand of the block and find the court. It's really difficult to defend that kind of ball as well. It's so fast, it's so high, and it's exactly where the defenders are not.
Gibbermeyer touches 3.7 meters with her spike approach. So that's above a hoop on a basketball court. And that is impressive. Super spike through the wing from Ismailou, who's made a good start to this game. That's her 9th point so far. Whoa, 83.7. And they're starting to wind it up down there on court. Murphy with a mistake. And it was around about this time that the USA just began to stumble in set 1. Still no sign of Michelle Barsh-Hackley on court. Their leading scorer. Heavy hitting through both wings. Starting to settle now into this game. Starting to see these rotations unfold, see where the advantages are for both squads. Another good serve from Gibbermeyer. This will be a free ball USA. Well passed. Oh, good pick up from Akosh. And that's a huge hit. Ismailou inside the block. And nearly hit Hill in the face there.
I think that was Jordan Larsson just telling Feluca, get that left arm over the net. She's cutting the slice, but if you just put your arm in the way, that's a block.
Out, Turkish point. Look at Akınardağ with the miss, and Turkey push themselves into a 2-point lead. as we head into this second technical timeout in set 2. And the US coaching team once again has some work to do here. Here's the US captain. Jordan Larson hasn't had a tremendous amount of court time during the course of the 5 weeks build-up to the finals. But when she's on court, she's a very solid player within this lineup. One of those players that really underpins what the team is doing. And has 7 points so far to her name. And like every good wing spiker, has a whole range of shots on the tool belt to be able to use. Former US outside hitter Bob Stvertlik was the man that really coined that phrase. You need to go into matches with tools on the tool belt if you're a wing spiker. Tips, off pace, power, anything you got to use to get the job done.
And she's definitely got everything. With her experience, she's got it all.
Chinese fans starting to come into the Nanjing Olympic Centre. Their team plays Netherlands to get their finals challenge underway. That's coming up later today. Back to this one, though, and back to the USA in some trouble here as we go into the business end of set 2. And 2 solid blocks in a row, and that's Erdem next to Osbeck. And no wonder they're celebrating that one. One of the shorter players on court getting the shutdown.
Yeah, anytime you've got the setter front row, she's going to be a tool. She's going to be a target for the attackers. But if she's able to get the block, that's always a huge boost for the team.
Ismailou with the serve onto Robinson. It's going to be controlled by Turkey. Out wide and off the block for the kill. And this time Hande Baladin with the finish. And Turkey are doing exactly what they did in the first set here. And Kira starting to pull away.
Yeah, and I think USA might be a little bit nervous that the last time they saw each other, these two teams, this is exactly what Turkey did. They took the first 2 sets, and USA had to come down from a huge deficit to a 5th set, just 16-14, as you said earlier, point for point. So I don't think they're going to want to put themselves in that position again.
You're clearly a glasses half full volleyball player. That's the way to be, I think. Always looking for the positives.
Well, they've still got time. There's nothing said and done. But you want to sort of keep trading point for point, because as soon as you let one team, as you said, a couple of points, and then they'll just run away with it.
And as a professional player, what are you looking for? 2 points, 3 points as the cushion?
You don't, as your own cushion on your side, if you're winning, you want the cushion to be enormous. You want all the points. But yeah, you just try and take it 1 point at a time.
Oh dear. Well, it's a litany of errors, I'm afraid, on the USA side of the net at the moment, and this Turkish block continues to be very strong indeed. That is a brilliant piece of movement in from the line by Ojbek, just to support her middle blocker, Erdem. Bit of old school might go down well here from Carly Lloyd. Just set it high and set it wide. There we go. Old school's not always bad. Good work from Kelly Murphy.
Yeah, she's had quite a bit of success in the last couple of minutes. So the setter, it's the responsibility of the setter to sort of know which players are hot and which ones to go to in which moment. So
yeah, who's hot and who's not. And you're absolutely right. That's the setter's job. And there's a new setter on court now. Misha Hancock comes in on this double substitution. So Drews comes in for Lloyd in the front line. Hancock in for Murphy in the back line as the USA continue with the big blockers, all 3 of them in the front court.
let's pick up.
Brilliant rally. No, free ball, Turkey. Oh, superb. Well controlled in the end by Erdem as that just dropped off the top of the net. But USA had 2 golden opportunities to win that point and just couldn't put it away.
Great pick up there.
Tough day at the office so far for the Americans. Turkey lead 20-15, and once again in the business end of the set, they've run away with it. Oh dear, and an ace off Robinson, and it's all good for Coach Guidetti's side.
it's common knowledge, but the pass is sort of it's the fundamental of volleyball. And if the players can't get the pass into the setter, she can't run an offense, you can't be competitive. So I think that'll be what coach is telling his players now. Look, just focus on the first ball, get the ball high into the setter.
And it'll be hurting him because we're looking at a coach that was probably the best passer in the men's game in history.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, here you go. Lucas Slade putting it on the line. We're going to win this, he says. He's also a glasses half full coach by the sounds of it, but they need something here and they need to happen quickly because 25 points is approaching rapidly for this Turkish team. And we see Barch Hackley introduced into the action. No surprise to see that. So 3 new players on court at the moment for Team USA. And Barch Hackley in the number 14 shirt, their best scorer so far on the VNL. And gets roofed out of sight by Ojbay first up. That's 2 big blocks, but another slightly low set.
Yeah, and that's difficult. It's always hard to come off the bench. I mean, you're cold, you're not warm, you're already under a pressure situation. So it was a good pass by Hackley Barch, but yeah, maybe a bit of a low set.
Well, another monster block from Ojbay, as you may have heard from the Stadium PA. Oh, and that's going to be Turkish point as well. Front court setter. She's got to be allowed to set the ball, and Barch Hackley didn't let her do that.
Yeah, you can't interfere with the setter when she wants to set. You can block, put your hands over the net when you want to block, but if the setter has her hands up to set the ball, you can't interfere.
So fault, quite rightly called by the referee, and Barch Hackley not passing particularly well since coming on from the bench. Oh, you're kidding me. Well, bizarre. USA have another go at this point.
Turkey's defending really well.
Oh, what a rally. Ojbay goes reverse to Barch, who has to tip. USA get another swing. Barch Hackley doesn't put it away. USA again. Barch Hackley again. And this time it's away and out.
Great rally.
And I think we've just seen the key to the USA recovering the situation in this match. Barch Hackley through the outside. Lloyd wasn't going to set anybody else.
Yeah, as we said, they've got to look for the hot hitters, and everyone here had a chance to attack.
Well, that's bizarre. That start to the point. Somehow Turkey recycled it.
They just defended everything.
And once again, Hancock, I think I said Lloyd, it's Hancock on the court at the moment, setting for the USA. Once again, she goes to Barch Hackley, who just gets the weight of shot finally through the block and off the defender and out. And there she is, Michelle Barch Hackley, looking to add to those 171 points it is now in the VNL. Good block. This is more like it from the Americans. Drew's next to Akin Rodeo. Been a while since the Americans have had a monster block. There we go. Luki Akin Rodeo just getting the timing right. Oh, big shot from the new opposite player on court, but Gunesh has stopped her. 2 monster blocks in a row from the middle players, one each side of the net, Kira.
Yeah, as we said earlier, sometimes you've got to use your tools. You've got to use your arsenal. You're not allowed. You can't just swing and expect to make points. I think you might start to see some more tipping or roll shots from the USA team.
24-17. Plenty of set points for Turkey for a 2-0 lead. Wayward from Gunesh. First thing that the teenager has done wrong all game, apart from a service error. That's how good she's been. This is still Turkey's set to lose, though.
Set points. It's not a bad position to be in.
Larson, good work.
Good use off the hands of the block. They were just a little bit straight up and she could see. She just sort of aims it out of court and catches the block on the way out.
And the first time that coach Giovanni Guidetti has had to call a timeout on his own volition in this match. The Turkish coach, they're clearly worried about this little peak in US performance.
And sometimes coaches will use the timeout just to give their players a moment to breathe. Tell them, you know, next point, 1 point, 1 point, 1 point. Because they've clearly got plenty of advantage. I don't think he's nervous about them losing this set, but he'll give them just to breathe.
So we'll see if the rest does the Turkish team any good. We'll also see if it gets into the mental process of the US server, Akin Radeo. Very, very experienced player on the American team. The USA can earn another point here. It's tight. Good fight from Larson. Free ball Turkey, though. This should be the set here for the team in red. Not quite. Drews tips, easy read. Ojbe goes wide. Bosch misses. So a little bit of pressure here being applied. This set will probably still go Turkey's way, Kira, but there's a bit of momentum swing for the USA.
And that's really what volleyball is all about. The momentum is that you use that couple of points. USA will use that as a bit of confidence builder. And they'll try and go all the way with it. They got a bit lucky, I think, on that last swing by Bosch. They're ready for that one.
Ribeiro has to bump the ball into the air, and that's never good timing for the outside players. Baladin is roofed. And another point to the USA.
They'll be happy with that. The play looked a bit scrambly there in the beginning, but to get a fully well-formed block, they did well.
Second timeout called by Guidetti. Still 3 chances to attack, though, for Turkey to win this set. Italian coach talking with his Turkish team in English. I'm amazed at the communication pathways that the volleyball players and coaches find.
It's a very international sport.
It is, and the Volleyball Nations League has proved that. Some cracking competition across the planet over the last 5 weeks, and we finish here in the women's division in Nanjing. Now, can Turkey finish here in set 2 with a kill? No. Great work from the Americans. Bosch. Good pick up from Akin Radeo. They scramble it back over. Well, the whistle's already gone, so that would be a net or a line, centre line infringement from the Americans. They can possibly challenge it, so we may have to delay the Turkish celebrations here. No, it's not a Turkish challenge, I don't think. It's a US challenge. Coach Guidetti saying it wasn't me.
I doubt he'll want to overturn that call.
It's his point. He doesn't really want to challenge it, and first official, Gassi Michele, just saying who challenged. It must be the USA that have asked the question. So they want to know, was she over? Did she touch the net? Well, she did a bit of everything, really. But it has to be looked at on the video. And I thought I saw a little touch of the toe over the centre line. I also saw the hair just catch the net as well. And that is never going USA's way. There we go then. Set 2 finally resolved in Turkey's favour. But it wasn't easy for them towards the end, and the USA, with Barch Hackley back on court, seemed to be a much more solid unit and just got a little bit of momentum going off the back of that Akin Radeo serve. And they might be able to use that to carry through into set 3. So Turkey lead here in Nanjing in this opening Volleyball Nations League fixture of our finals week by 2-0 over the USA. And some cracking points towards the end of that set. And lots of highlights to enjoy. Well, plenty of highlights for Turkey to enjoy and some for the USA to enjoy towards the end of that second set, which they eventually lost. USA spike hitting points then. Well, relatively even distribution across the net, but that's the way this US team plays. When you look at their stats at the end of the game, a lot of the points have been shared between the key hitters, but certainly a focus on the wing. And something very similar as well from a Turkish point of view. But at the moment, Kira, in key times in the match, it's Turkey that are putting the ball away when they need to.
Yeah, it looks like they're sort of much more comfortable than the USA team. They're finding their rhythm. They're communicating well. There don't seem to be quite as many sort of miscommunications or unforced errors.
Now, positive for the US team. They've brought Barch Hackley on. Didn't start with her, which was a bit of a surprise for us, but she's in. Larson is still out there through the wing as well. And what do the USA have to do now to change the situation in this match?
In my opinion, I think the reception has been a little bit weaker than what Karch would probably like. And that's, again, as I said, that's the key to being able to run the offense for the setter, to have all her options available.
Well, a little look at the ref cam there. Sorry to just butt in, but a little look at what it looks like from up on the stand. It's not an easy job being the first official, and that's why all this technology is so important. But a great perspective from our point of view. So we'll see if Barch Hackley can make a difference, but USA are going to have to do a couple of key things, and you think one of them is definitely improvement in service reception.
Yeah, and the Turkish blockers have been on fire this game, and the attackers have definitely got their work cut out for them, but maybe finding more solutions, as in not just hitting directly into the block, but just, you know, the tips have been falling, the roll shots, they're finding them down the line, so I think that'll be a key for them again this set.
Away we go then with set 3. Turkey in the red playing from right to left. They've won the first point in the previous 2 sets, which could be an omen. But we also think that we might be in for a longer journey, just like the first time they met back in May, when Turkey stormed into a lead. But as Kira said, the USA pegged them back and eventually took it to 5 sets, which is the only way that the Americans are going to win this match today.
And they'll believe that they can do it. They'll 100% have the confidence that they've done it before and they can do it again. Get to a 5th set, that is. So they'll be taking it 1 point at a time, just saying, right, this point, now this point, convert, convert, convert. And just hope that Turkey doesn't get on a big lead again that they have to come back from.
Better start. Barch Hackley definitely on for the USA in the number 14 shirt. Captain Larson stays on in the other wing spiking position. Kelly Murphy on ahead of Drews in that opposite hitting position. Carly Lloyd, their main setter, back on. And through the middle, Gibbermeyer and Akinrodero. So not too many changes for the USA, just that one wing spiker position. And no need for Turkey to change. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, as they say. But this is a much better start from the USA. Well, he'll know, Coach Gudetti will know that there will be a push from the Americans at some point in this game, and it's how well his team deal with that that will tell us where this result is going.
Yeah, they're definitely not the kind of team to just sort of roll over and say, all right, 2 sets up, game's yours. They're going to fight back. So definitely going to see that in this set.
You don't top the VNL league table if that's your attitude. 13 games and 2 losses, but as we said at the top of the broadcast, those 2 losses were to the 2 teams in their pool. Pool B here in Nanjing, which is a bit of bad luck. And a good finish from Bosch. Went a little bit quiet back half of the second set, so we need to see Bosch back in it, Kira, for Turkey.
Yeah, she's been the key for them in the last 5 weeks, I guess you could say. So they'll definitely be looking to her to score, to find a way through the US block.
She has 9 points in this match so far. But somehow Turkey still have this ball in play. And if they win this point, that is ridiculous. Well, that's incredible endeavour from the Turkish team.
That's a great slice past the block. Well-formed block, but she just cut it right past the inside hand of the blocker.
Good swing from Murphy. Yes, the attackers don't just hit straight through the ball. They look at it as a clock face, don't they? And hit at different parts of the clock face to make the ball do different things.
Exactly, and it really is, it'll come down to the finish. You could see there with Murphy's wrist, the way her hand finishes is where the ball is going to go.
Trying for the hands of the block, the wing spiker for Turkey on that occasion, but missing. Just looking down the top scorers at the moment for Turkey. Ismailoglu, who just missed that shot, on 11. Erdem on 10. And Bosch, as I said, on 9. Nice from Güneş. I'm still struggling to believe that she's just 18 years of age. She plays with such maturity.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it is Güneş back to the service line. Good swing, and that's what Barch-Hackley brings this team. Off of the net, under pressure. She's got a cannon of a shoulder.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Converting those kind of points is what they're going to have to do, because if the reception isn't on point, they're just going to have to find a way to score even when it doesn't go. This isn't a perfect set from the setter.
Well, new middle blocker, I can tell you, on court for Team USA. Just about to come into action in the middle of those 3 blockers. In the number 6 shirt to Tori Dixon, Pro Victoria player. 1.91 meters tall. 25 years of age, and a couple of games I've seen her play in the VNL this year. Dixon's been really impressive.
Yeah, she's a really strong middle blocker.
So the first technical timeout arrives, and for the first time in this match, USA have a comfortable cushion.
Now we are here waiting, tack, doesn't matter if they stay under or if they pull.
Middle back stay and be ready for that, okay? Outside hand on 13, first ball.
Alongside these wonderful courtside shots from the ref cam and the Hymo cam, we are so privileged to be able to drop into those timeouts.
Yeah, I wish I could hear more. I could sort of hear that the tail end of what Guidetti was trying to say is that he wants his reception to be more stable and to sort of move before the ball comes to them, because he, as you said, they're sort of maybe swinging at the last minute and getting touches off their reception instead of moving their feet, getting where they need to be in position and making a good reception.
So back to basics, says Coach Guidetti to his Turkish team. They need to get control of this ball and get it into Ojbe, the setter. Otherwise, USA will keep picking them off. No, not this time, though. Fine block out wide from Bosch on the danger woman at the moment for Team USA, Barch-Hackley.
That's an incredible solo block. I'm really impressed with Turkey's blocking today. I feel like the USA, even there, where the setter got got a one-on-one for the hitter. Even there, she couldn't get through. It's really impressive blocking.
Bosch it is who made that block with the serve and pressures Barch Hackley down the line. Nice run around the back from Erdem, the middle player, and lets her feelings be known through the net. You're not really supposed to go through the net at your opponents, are you? But it happens now and again.
Yeah, if you you can maybe make
sitting there looking all innocent.
You can. I mean, you want to let your opponents know that you're not afraid of them and that you're, you come to play. But yeah, you got to be a bit subtle about it so you don't end up with a yellow card or a red card.
Well, challenge requested by the USA. They think it dropped in. Oh, millimetres in it. And Erdem's protest that they shouldn't have requested that challenge was a brave one, because that could have ended up in a very different situation.
They had to request it. If it's that close, if it's a hair between it, then it could go either way, and the chances are the refs couldn't have seen that.
I think that's going to be our new official VNL measurement, a hair. That's as narrow as it gets in terms of missing the court. Nicely done by the USA. Straight back on it through Dixon. Again on that run around play. A lot more expansive on that occasion. Interesting to see how the women's game has developed over the last 20 years or so. 20 years ago, the run around, that slide D with the middle player around the back of the setter was exclusive. I mean, it got used all the time. But now we see the pipe attack, we see the backcourt attack through 10. A lot of attacks now in this women's game.
And that's the key to it, really, is that the setter has options. She has to be able to trick the blockers on the other side, because they only have a split second to decide where they're going to go, and they have to read her. I mean, if she's got all these different options, it's really difficult as a blocker to get yourself in the right position at the right time.
And as a middle blocker, wow, all these players running at you, and you've got to make those decisions very quickly.
Yeah, there's a lot to think about in a very short time.
Hackley picked up. Tori Dixon can't get a swing on that one. Bosch can't hit it either, and well watched by Robinson. It's a good piece of defensive work from the American libero. Well, we've watched a lot of games between us, Kira, and I think we both feel at the moment that this has got 5 sets written all over it if the USA keep playing like this.
Yeah, definitely. As you said before, it's a game of momentum. It can swing one way, it can swing the other way.
What a hit from Bosch. Contacts the ball at 3:15 in the air. He's way over the net.
And if she gets up there, she only has one block in front of her. She's got the whole court, basically. And that's exactly what she used.
2 points in it. Gunesh back in the front line. Erdem, the other middle blocker, with the serve, and that's long. And just a couple of these worrying elements now creeping into the Turkish game. So the block-has gone a little quiet. The services have been irregular. And Erdem asking for a challenge on this one, but you can see from Coach Guidetti's facial expression, he's thinking, no.
He's not convinced.
And he's absolutely right. So Turkey use and lose a challenge, courtesy of Erdem's service error. And that's the last thing USA need.
But that's that challenge / timeout that you were talking about. Sometimes you don't get the actual point of the challenge you requested, but you can get it ahead of the other team, and maybe you can get a service error out of it. So that's Coach Guidetti's point.
Ojbey. 3 good rotations in the front court for Turkey now, with tall blockers. Setter in the back line. Larson had a good look at that block before she jumped to swing, and I think that just affected her timing. Yeah, that was the net's point, but the block was there. There's Bosch again with her bit of information and advice for the referee, always on hand. Ojbey again. Dear me.
Miscommunication.
Good use, Turkey. And finally, the hit is good off the block. USA will be kicking themselves again. Another meandering rally with plenty of chances to kill the ball.
Yeah.
We have got a timeout. We were waiting to see whether that was actually going to happen. Barch Hackley saying, don't call the timeout, but the timeout has been called. And USA once again see Turkey back in contention. There we go, a bit higher in the air for the sets.
As you said earlier, just go back to basics.
Now, you get impact points during the course of a match, and you'll get a few of them. But this is one of those periods of play where Turkey can finish the game in 3 sets during this middle phase of this set. If they can keep pace with the USA, they'll keep themselves in this game, and that'll be their chance. It may be their biggest chance to win this match.
Yeah, if they got a couple of points here, I think that'd probably be a momentum shift for, it might be psychological more than anything, but if you're down 2 sets and then down a couple more points, then it's really hard to come back from that.
Straight substitution. Misha Hancock is in for Carly Lloyd, so a change at setter. New playmaker on court for the USA. The timeout has done its job, affecting Ojbey, the Turkish setter. She's missed her serve. But that's an interesting call, because that's Coach Kirai saying we need a new setter out there. That's not just the double substitution. So big throw of the dice from the Americans.
Especially when it was quite close. It's interesting to make that change when it's maybe not necessary. When they were sort of 11-11, 12-12. Not a big deficit yet.
Hancock scrambles. What a play outside to Barch Hackley. Goes there again. Third time lucky. It is. Kelly Murphy, though, is the player that does the damage. Good player, Kelly Murphy. Had that opposite position pretty much all to herself, but since Drews has come into the frame, hasn't played as much.
But she's doing a good job in this game.
And one of 2 players, Kira, on a USA contract, so not playing abroad, but actually getting paid by the US Federation to be part of the team.
Right, majority of players will play in Europe or in Asia, but there isn't a league in the US to speak of as of yet.
There's no pro league in the USA for players to earn their living there, so occasionally a player that wishes to stay in the USA for study reasons or whatever will ask for a contract. It's centrally issued. And this is good. This is just what the USA needed. From Turkey's point of view, though, not so good. Well, any more points and we'll be calling it a masterstroke to bring Hancock into the action.
Yeah, and sometimes that's really all a team needs, is just a little change of perspective, I guess.
Yes, and those good coaches just have that uncanny ability to know when that needs to happen. Second technical timeout arrives, and remember, it's after each of the second technical timeouts that Turkey have really raced away with the previous 2 sets. So there will be pressure on the States when they come back from this one. But worryingly for Turkey, not as good from the service line. A few mistakes in service reception. And the outside hitters, in particular Bosch, have gone quiet. And you know what? At the back of your mind, when you're playing a classy team like the USA, there's always that doubt, isn't there? And I wonder if that's what the Turkish players are thinking right now.
Yeah, they'll probably be feeling a bit of pressure. Even if they are 2 sets up, they know that the USA is a strong team and they've got to bring their A game no matter what. They can't just let up, and that might be what they've done. Sort of got a little bit comfortable, let the USA get a bit of a lead. But they're gonna be looking to cut down on any errors and just go aggressive in the next set, in the rest of the set.
Well, in the number 9 shirt, we just saw some wonderful slow-mos of Ismailou. She's got to get herself back into this game through that left side. 2 wing spikers. Got to start scoring. Kivimaya missing. So 3 points the deficit again as Güneş serves. No setter for Turkey. Ojbay with defence, but Boj again drawn in off the wing, and Titori Dixon was waiting.
Yeah, again, that inside set, it's so hard to get around the block because as the attacker, you're at the disadvantage. If the ball doesn't come to where you want it to be, and the blockers are already just set up there, which is what just happened.
Monster block from Titori Dixon. And another one. Titori says down. Referee agrees. And Turkey will have to challenge this one if they want the point reversed. And we are going to get a challenge, I think. So the request here is, did the ball touch the floor? And sometimes as a defensive player, you think, okay, I've picked that one up, but actually some part of the ball was hanging off the arm or the hand and just contacted the floor. And I always feel one of the toughest ones for the officials to call. Well, there we go. That looks like it's caught a piece of the floor. So there is a floor touch.
In fact, you could see on the faces of the players, they didn't look convinced. They sort of looked over at Guidetti. Why'd you call that? Why'd you call that?
Now we're going to find out what this Turkish team is made of. It was all smiles just 20 minutes ago when they were 2 sets to love up, but now some concerned looks down there for the team in red. Murphy to serve. Ojbay sent scurrying away from the net again, and Ismailoglu with a fine hit. That's a great kill from the number 9.
Great touch off the block. She might have been just aiming completely out, knowing that it's going to draw the blockers to just sort of try and grab a little piece of it, and she's just aiming for the bleachers and she gets them on the way out.
And now the double substitution by Turkey. So Alakaya comes in as the setter, and this very talented 18-year-old Karagut, 1.94 meter tall, comes in the opposite position. Nice way to mix it up from Turkey, but that is some hit. And Titori Dixon, her introduction along with Barch Hackley and Misha Hancock have done the trick for the USA.
Right past the outside hand of the blocker. That's perfect execution.
And a perfect example of the ball arriving where you want it to.
Exactly, that makes it easier.
Nice swing. Lovely cut across her body from Erdem to make the kill.
It's a great angle. She had Titori Dixon directly in front of her, and she had to find a really sharp angle to get around her.
Oh dear. Too high and too wide, I'm afraid, from the American setter. So 1 point clawed back.
That's the only problem with changing the setter, is that the hitters they get used to a certain ball, and even if it's not the ball they want, they find that rhythm, but then as soon as you put in a new setter, they've got to sort of readjust their dial.
And there's the problem that has been ever present in this third set for Turkey, service errors. You do all that work to win the ball back and then hit the ball out or in the net, and that rhythm, that momentum goes. Now Akinrodeo in, and Hill in for Titori Dixon, so they're just going to mix it up a bit in terms of service and a play in backcourt for defence from Hill. Decent serve, well passed, and nicely finished. So the plan didn't work, unfortunately, but you've got to take a few gambles here and there. So we'll see that substitution reversed. And the libero will come back on court. 3 points in it. Turkey getting closer. Erdem to serve. Nicely done.
Perfect reception, perfect set, perfect execution. Coach will be happy with that.
And Misha Hancock as well. That's what you can do with a good service receive as a setter. You can just hang in the air, that moment of stillness before you execute your play. And a timeout called by Turkey. Coach Guidetti earning his money in this set.
Come live, don't back. Back, don't receive one ball. Hey, our attack is here, our safety is here, our defense is here.
Coached a lot of pro teams in Serie A from the mid-90s onwards, Guidetti, and then the Netherlands women's program offered him the job as head coach. Came in and did an amazing job with that team, and probably would have stayed but for his situation with regard to his family. Married to a Turkish international player, so decided when this job became open that this was a good option. And no real surprise to see how well the Turkish block is organised with Guidetti at the helm. Oh, what a pick-up from Barchakli. As Karakut hit that hard. And America's still in the rally. No, not in my house, says Karakut, who's wearing the biggest number I've ever seen, I think, in the VNL, number 90 on her shirt.
It's a great grab. She'll be happy with that. She's such a young player, and I think she's still got so much growing to do, so much maturing, but she's very emotional.
Stays on court, so that double sub not reversed yet. Good finish from the USA. Just need to keep the scoreboard ticking over now. USA don't need to win another service point. They'd like to, but really what they need to do is keep attacking successfully. And that'll be enough to win this set. 22-18, Larson to serve. Ooh, just. Now, interestingly, Coach Guidetti has decided that he's going to stay with the two players that he's brought in, so he's probably going to see the set out with this group of players.
Well, they're scoring, so... And a little bit of extra energy as well. You can see Karakurt there, she's got a bit of fire for such a young player, so maybe that's what they'll need to turn it around.
Erdem to serve. 3 points to find for Turkey. Is this coming over? It is. Free ball. Great pick up from Larson. Oh, this is wonderful stuff. Look at this from Turkey. USA go again. Oh, and into the net from Akın Radeo. And that's the value of never giving up.
That was a great pickup by Turkey.
Well, this ball looked dead. And somehow Akkoş got an arm on it and the rest of her team managed to recycle it. And you know what? That could be the turning point, and Karchkirai knows it. That's why the American coach has called a timeout. Two setters in discussion. Carly Lloyd not on court at the moment, just talking to Misha Hancock about what she thinks she needs to be doing with this ball.
And that's the best thing you can do. If you're taken off, you can sort of step back and you can look at the game with fresh eyes and see things that maybe when you're in court you can't see. So she's giving a little bit of advice.
Yeah, just talking to her about the extension on that last set. Just didn't feel she was contacting the ball high enough for Akın Radeo. This has got to be correct, though. And that will do nicely. Very fast from hand to floor from Barchakli. That was quick.
That looked like it was over the block.
That is some hit from Barchakli. Contacts the ball at 325 on her maximum reach. That's going over the top of pretty much everybody. Great point, very important point for the USA, and it's Coach Guidetti's turn to call a timeout.
Not, you don't want to play with the and you keep playing extra. And then you can open the game how you want.
Don't want to be too dictatorial as a coach. The players have to express themselves, but you also want players to have a clear plan when they go back on court, Kira.
Right, and they will have had a plan from the get-go, but as the game progresses, the coach will definitely tweak that plan give more information, give more statistics, more feedback. And the setter, ultimately, it's her job to run the offense, and that's what Guidetti will be saying to his setter there. Now, here's a little bit of feedback, but go for it.
Murphy, Dixon, and Barch Hackley, the 3 blockers in the front line for the USA. That's strong. Oh, not quite from Dixon. Is that big little blocker again, number 16, Güneş for Turkey doing the job. And they're still in this set. USA not over the line yet. Good shot from Murphy. And for the first time in this match, the USA have set points. And that's probably all they need to get themselves into this game. Murphy to serve. First chance to win it. Comes to Larsson. Makosh with the pickup. Bosch back on court for just a couple of points ahead of this next set, because that is where we're heading to set 4 as the USA begin to dig themselves out of what is a rather large hole on day 1 of these Volleyball Nations League finals here in Nanjing. Great start from Turkey to win those first 2 sets. But the USA coming back strongly in set 3 and will now feel that a win in this game is a very real possibility. But Turkey still lead by 2 sets to 1 and need one more set to get this game across the line. Certainly looks a lot brighter for Team USA. 25 points to 21 in set 3. Just got it over the line despite a late resurge from the Turkish players. But Turkey still worryingly for the USA, outclassing them in a couple of areas. And the job isn't done yet for the team that finished top of the VNL leaderboard, Team USA. Now let's take a look at the US serve placement, and I think, Kira, we've seen a bit of an evolution from sets 2 through to 3. So starting in set 1, services targeting one particular area and then starting to spread them out a little, and then they've moved them across the court to much more towards zone 1.
Yeah, they might have found success in one area and they've sort of adapted their plan based on who they want to go for.
And they certainly seem to be going at the moment for the left side of court as they look at it, so the right side of the Turkish court, and that means they've shifted their serve pattern from one side of the court to the other in the duration of 3 sets. It's certainly worked in the last one. Turkish serve receive wasn't as good, but US service reception better. Dixon's made an impression. Hancock looks solid enough, but I think we'll see Lloyd back on court, but Barch Hackley probably still remains the key in offense.
Yeah, definitely. Karcha's got so many options up his sleeve. He's got such a deep bench that he can make those changes, and he can sort of use any of the players that he's got. And they've done a good job coming in, the subs.
Well, let's talk about the strongest 6 players. I don't think USA at the moment will feel that that's who they've got out on court. We've got no Adams, we've got no Hill, we've got no Drews out there at the moment. So that's what you mean about this strength in depth.
Yeah, I think at this level it's hard to say who is the sort of the starting 6, because there are so many good players out there. They're all elite in their own way, so.
Probably more correct then to say you're starting best 6 at that moment in time.
Right.
Okay, so Karch will have in mind who the best 6 are for this 4th set, and it isn't Lloyd that starts, it is Hancock in the setting position for the USA. We're back to normal service being resumed for this Turkish team, who have won the first point in every set so far. Gudetti bringing Bosch and Ojkan Bajke back on. Murphy remains on court ahead of Drews, but she's done pretty well actually. Kelly Murphy played well in that 3rd set.
And he'll go back to her.
That's a long run round to get to that offensive position for Murphy, but she did it well.
Yeah, especially, she's also a left-handed player, so she'll have a really specific place where she needs the ball to be. If it's too far outside, it's going to be really hard for her to attack, but that was perfect placement.
Still get the feeling, though, that there's plenty of volleyball to play in this opening match at the finals. And waiting in the wings, China, to play the Netherlands on the opening day. Clever hit from Barchakli.
There's no defending that ball. Over the hands of the block and a little bit down the line to the outside end.
Akin Rodeo back in the lineup, so Lauren Gibbermeyer on the bench now for the USA. Oh, well played. Oh, what a hit on the overpass from Tatori Dixon.
And that's exactly what you've got to do. You've got to say, no, you give me a free ball, I'm going to shove it back down your throat, basically, in so many words.
And she's put a big dent in the court with that super spike. Not completely as planned, but every middle blocker's dream to get an overpass like that. 3-2 USA. Akin Rodeo to serve. Good piece of defense from Akin Rodeo to get that last ball into transition. Yeah, good serve there off Ismailou. Free ball USA. Oh, they'll be kicking themselves there. Another golden opportunity to extend the lead to 2 points, but Turkey come back and win it.
They didn't convert on that free ball opportunity. We don't get many free balls at this level, so when you do, just gotta put it in.
Good heavy hit cross court, but Akosh should have controlled that one. Turkish libero. Very different liberos on court today for these teams. There's Akosh, out and out libero, trained as a libero from the start of her volleyball career. It's the player that just dived on the USA side of the net. Converted wing spiker. But Robinson gradually finding her way into this match. And the service reception for the USA is settling down.
It's been 4 weeks now that she's playing libero, so she'll definitely be much more comfortable than she will have been her first couple of outings.
Good work. Over on 2 from Hancock. The American setter in the front line, so she's able to attack that ball. Keep the middle blockers guessing.
And setters love to repeat. If the setter on the other side is just dumped, the one on this side, look out for it in the next couple of points that their setter will try and do the same thing. They love this sort of competition back and forth between setters.
A timeout called by Turkey and Coach Gudetti, but yeah, that's a very good point, Kira. Bit of one-upmanship we might see coming if the pass is good enough to Ojbe, and if she's in front court, of course. Bit of time taken then in that one just to G the team up more than anything. Not too much technical information going across. Just this Turkish team trying to fire up for the last push. Amazing how a game like this can swing in different directions. Murphy to serve. Ojbay in the front line, not tight enough though for her to go for that second play. Instead, feeds the pipe to Bosch.
I would venture to say that that is her favorite ball. She's great on the wing, but I think she just loves that big run up on the backcourt and finding those really deep angles.
Good serve from Erdem, well controlled by Barch-Hackley. And gets her own spike away. Interesting call not to start Barch-Hackley in this game, but I don't think that anything else other than her remaining on court can be the case now. Very impressive player. And incidentally, in terms of her passing statistics, her service reception, she's been the best of the Americans. So that's probably an indication why that pass looks a lot better now.
Mm-hmm.
Bosch dumps it over for the free ball. Robinson chases it. Well, Turkey just running out of steam a bit here. USA not doing anything particularly impressive. Tori Dixon getting the ball away just.
And that's what I mean about making the best of the set. She didn't look like she was in rhythm. She wasn't going to have a good swing on it, so she's just sort of dinked it over and found the court. And that's what you have to do when your team's not necessarily finding the passing rhythm or the setting rhythm. Just make the most of what you get.
Technical timeout arrives then. 16 points, we get an automatic game stoppage for a minute, but the coaches have 2 30-second timeouts to go to, plus substitutions, plus challenges. And there's that wonderful spike from Tori Dixon. And it's great to see what the ref is seeing. Fortunately for referee Kazim Mukwele, he's looking in all the right places.
That's what you want in a ref, someone who's paying attention to the game.
That could be a giveaway, that camera. Had a good game so far, a couple of decisions to make. And we are seeing a little bit of movement down there on court. Handi Baladin, another youngster back on for Erkan. Baladin, 19 years of age, plays with the Azazbashi club in Istanbul. The other big club in Turkey, Vakifbank, also in the capital city. And this is looking better and better for Team USA. And that fifth set that we talked about, beginning now to look like reality.
Yeah, USA will just be thinking, right, we need to get to a fifth set. We need to get there, and then anything can happen.
And that's the thing. It doesn't matter how much momentum you take into a fifth set. It still tends to become a lottery to the 15-point mark.
Yeah, definitely.
Alikaya in. And let's see Karakut on as well. There we go. So Alikaya in for Ojbay. Straight swap at setter then. So not the double substitution just yet.
Great serve.
Karakut is on for Bosch. So Turkey making wholesale changes here, and USA just looking stronger and stronger. Barch-Hackley with the ace.
There wasn't any float on that ball, and that's what you want when you're doing a jump float. It kind of falls before or after the reception. It's impossible to receive if it just doesn't have any spin on it.
Players hit a serve with that float serve that they hope will react with the airflow. When it gets to a particular speed, the critical numbers will start to apply and the ball will move. It'll drop down, it'll move sideways. And Turkey managing to somehow manufacture a point.
Good use of the block. Tiny little pinky touch.
New setter on court, Alakaya. For Turkey, that is. USA have a new setter on court as well, Misha Hancock. But she's been there since the start of this set. Oh, what a play from Jordan Larson. Not sure how much she knew about that.
Bit of luck, bit of skill, bit of everything.
Probably the greatest value of that last play is it annoyed the opposition coach. Oh dear, and Tori Dixon can't make Turkey pay for it off the back, but good cushion here for the Americans. Baladin with the serve.
Good use. And that's where you see that kind of experience coming in. Jordan looking across the net says, right, I've got 18, 19-year-old player against me. I'm going to use my experience, use those hands, block out.
Rotations in the front court for the USA now. Hancock can't make use of the first one. 2 service errors in a row for the USA. Got to be careful still.
Yeah, they want to put pressure on the receivers on the other side, but at what expense? Too many unforced errors. Just gives free points to the other side.
Oh, ripper of a spike from Barch Hackley through that pipe position in the middle of the backcourt.
Barely a block. That's also credit to the setter as well, to give her, basically set her in such a way that the blockers didn't even know it was coming.
Yeah, I've been petitioning for a free net stat for the setters. We should have a prize at the end of the season. Which setter gets the most free nets for their attackers? Hancock's had a couple. Karchkarai didn't like something about that last play. Can't challenge everything, though. Some of those decisions still remain a subjective call from the referee's point of view. 14-8. Handy cushion here for the team in white. Good serve from Larson. Beautiful pass, though. Ismailou goes wide.
We haven't seen as much from her as I was expecting in the last couple of weeks. She's been a pretty big player on Turkey's side, but it seems like she has been a bit quiet this game.
And Hakan Radeo gets the chance at an overpass. Not quite as easy to hit, though, as the one from Tori Dixon.
Good use.
It's nicely done. And the second technical timeout arrives with Turkey barely scoring a point during the middle phase of this 4th set. I think we can safely say we are on our way to a 5th set. And I have to say, Kira, it looks to be a certain amount of resignation about some of the Turkish players.
I think once you get to this kind of score, you're not giving up, but you're mentally sort of preparing yourself for the 5th set. Maybe thinking, right, don't worry too much about this set. Just make sure when the 5th set comes, you're ready.
And depending on who Guidetti wants to go with in set 5, if that is where we end up, they may need to get a couple of players back onto court. So Ojbe and Bosch in particular probably needs to give them a few points before the tiebreaker set to 15. And we are getting pretty much a carbon copy of the last encounter between these two on the VNL back in May. But remember, Turkey came out on top of that one, 3-2, 16-14 in the 5th. So this game not over and done with. Good strong swing from Ismailoglu. The lunch judge didn't initially give that, but I think the referee's overruled as a touch off the block. Karagut with the serve.
I think she's definitely sort of an upcoming player. She can be effective in moments, but then you see some kind of errors that you just don't expect at this level. But she's so young.
Plays her volleyball with Vakifbank in Istanbul. New setter, Alikaya just distributing to Karagut. Effective kill from the back line. Alikaya plays her volleyball with Galatasaray. Not unusual to see a football club being the focus of a sporting club with lots of other sports clubs around it. Quite a strong model in European volleyball. Nice save from Hancock. That's a beautiful save.
Yeah, tight ball, got her hands to it. And the middle blocker on the other side has to think twice. When the ball comes that tight, she's got to say, right, the setter's down, I'm not going to block her, but just that split second can mean the difference between getting the block and not.
Good blocking. And Barch Hackley is starting to become a dominant force. Now remember, she didn't begin this game, and she's already on 13 points with that roof block. It's the block, the crowd join in. And we've got another change. New libero on court, but not a libero, wearing a normal playing shirt, but normally Sariolu would be in the defensive position. So two defensive players in the back line for Turkey at the moment.
Yeah, I have to say I was surprised to see her on the roster as not a libero. She plays her club volleyball as a libero, and they put her here as a wing spiker, but she's possibly the shortest girl on the court right now, so I don't think she's going to do much in the front row.
You're absolutely right, Kira. 1.68 meters tall. But two defensive players on or not, they couldn't bring that one into play. Who's your money on? Tough question, I know, at this point, but...
it's definitely going to a fifth, but I don't know. There's a bit of heat from both sides. I think if Turkey can get their blocking back where it was in the first couple of sets, then they'll be really difficult to stop. How about you?
We've just been having a look down the previous matches on the VNL over the last 5 weeks. And some interesting stuff when it comes to 5-setters. We'll just let this point play out. Nicely done, off the fingers of the block and out. No, it isn't. So Turkey would have to challenge if they want this point. Don't know that we'll see that as USA take another step closer to set 5. There is going to be a challenge here. I thought I saw something come off the block there. And while we wait for this challenge to come through, Turkey have played, we think, 4 5-setters in the lead up to the finals. And lost 3 of them, but the one team they did beat in 5 sets was the USA. Well, that looked a long way clear, didn't it? And no fault on the net either, so just a time delay on that challenge, but it's still USA point. So Turkey have had a lot of 5-set practice coming into the finals, although not always successful, but they were successful against the States. USA just the one 5-setter, because remember, they've won 11 games, 3-0, sorry. So USA won 5-setter against Turkey, and they lost it. And there's statistics and there's statistics, isn't there? That doesn't make your decision any clearer about who you think is going to win this.
Yeah, and it really just comes down to the moment. I mean, you can say they've had so many 5-setters in this tournament, but think about how many 5-setters each player's had in their lifetime. I mean, They've played a lot of volleyball, so they're prepared for this, both sides.
US players in the substitution area getting in to the action, enjoying the party here in Nanjing. Enjoying that last super spike by Barch Hackley, who's really ramped it up for Team USA. 22-11, biggest lead that either of the teams has had so far in this match. Dear me. And that was a heat seeker. Cracker from Erdem.
Yeah, and that's the kind of pressure that, you know, they were putting that kind of pressure on them, on the USA in the first couple of sets. And if they go back to that serving pressure, that'll be key for them in the 5th set.
Nice block. And incredible, isn't it? Just as we head towards the end of this 4th set, with Turkey getting a bit of a thrashing here from the States, 2 key features have just emerged then that help them take the first 2 sets, serve and block.
Yeah, that's it. I think if they can get those 2 things back under control in the 5th set, it'll be a much different score than what you're seeing here. They might have just got a little bit slack in this set. But then again, it's also the USA is picking up their side, so it's a balance.
Coach Karai just reminding his players that there's a job of work still to be done here. Can't just coast through to the end of this set. Got to win it. Several assistant coaches, part of the setup for most teams, with different responsibilities on the bench.
It sounded like they were talking about trying to get the middle more involved. Don't force it, but I'd really like to see a little bit more from Tori Dixon. Sounded like she was saying.
Oh, what a hit from Gunesh. And what a set from Alakaya under pressure on the net. On the line and hit very hard. And some encouraging signs for Turkey here. Another good serve onto Barch Hackley. And beautiful from Tori Dixon.
And there's that middle ball that they were setting. Get the middle involved. Get her, you know, make their middle on the other side move and think about it a bit more. She's executed it perfectly.
Karakurt somehow got a swing on that ball. The USA come back strongly. Tight. And USA can't save it. Another point for Turkey. And these are all valuable points here for the team in red. Nice little positives to take into the tiebreaker.
Yeah, they'll be trying to get a bit of a momentum to go into the 5th. You know, and just they'll scratch the score. They'll say, don't think about that, but bring some momentum right now.
Nice work. Second time Hancock's gone over on 2. And the American setter earns herself another point. 2 points for the game for her. In offense, that is.
It really is a mental game between the setters on one side and the middles on the other side. And she will have been thinking, right, are they paying attention to me? Do they know I'm here? Let's just keep them on their toes. Think, free point.
It worked. Hill in for Dixon in the serve. USA with plenty of set points. And a wild hit from Karakurt. May see a challenge here from Turkey, but this set should be over and done with. And Coach Guidetti wants everybody in for a chat before the 5th set, the tiebreaker that looms here in Nanjing. And what a start to our coverage here from the finals. And the Volleyball Nations League once again delivering maximum value here as the 2 captains gather at the net. Erdem for Turkey. And on the other side, Jordan Larson, who's maintained a position on court. So the 2 captains will toss the coin to decide which way we're going to go in terms of serve and receive. Generally speaking, teams would like to attack first in a tiebreaker.
Yeah, especially if you've got a good serving team. You want to be the first to serve. You want to put pressure on the other team, but at the same time, if you're receiving, then you have the first opportunity to attack. So the side is
Well, the least competitive of our sets, set 4. Some nice points, some nice highlights for the USA, but it was all them to take this one to a tiebreaker. We are level here in Nanjing for our opening game in the first ever Volleyball Nations League finals. And that's how things went in the last set. Not particularly close. 25-15 is a bit of a thrashing from the USA, but don't let that influence you in terms of going into our tiebreaker. Turkey showing some signs of recovery with serve and block towards the end of that fourth set. But as we go into the tiebreaker, based on what we've seen in the last 2 sets, Kira, USA must be marginal favourites.
They've definitely turned it around from the first couple of sets. They started serving stronger, they started attacking the balls that maybe were a little bit out of system, they started receiving a little bit better, and Turkey seemed to just do the opposite. So for me, it's anybody's game. I think they're both such strong teams. I'm curious to see what the coaches will start with as far as the lineup goes, and I wonder if he'll put Bosch back in for Karakurt.
Some big calls to be made, certainly from both sides of the net. It looks to me as if Karakurt is going to get a start here in set 5. We have 2 sets all between USA and Turkey, and that means a tiebreaker set to 15 points. 2 points clear still required, though, with no ceiling on the score. And it was 16-14 in Turkey's favour back in May, the last time these 2 teams met, and it went to a 5th setter. Coach Guidetti, animated as always on the sideline. Karchkirai, calm and watching everything. I wonder what he's feeling on the inside. His team still have a chance to win this match. Set 5 then, here in Nanjing, between the USA and Turkey. We're ready to go. 15 points the target. And as we get this set underway, we'll just update you on exactly who's out there on court. It's going to be Ishmaelu to serve for Turkey to get things underway. Barchakli still out there for America. Misha Hancock, he's still the setter and the playmaker. And for a 5th set in a row, Turkey have won the opening point.
And they're excited about it, it looks like. That's one of the things that I noticed Coach Guidetti says in his sort of after-game comments. He always says talks about the spirit of his young team and how that's the thing that he's most concerned about. And then looked like they had a lot of spirit after that point.
Ishmaelu serves again. Murphy comes in hard off the wing. And what we talked about at the start of this game, serve and block for Turkey, has worked on the first 2 points. And Karakurt still on for Bosch. So a big decision there from Guidetti. But at the moment, the call seems to be working.
And he'll know better than us. He's actually her coach. He is the coach of Vakipang, and that's where she plays. So he'll know more than we know sitting here in the commenting booth. We've seen Bosch do a great job, but he knows day in and day out what Karakurt's capable of.
Big shot from a big player. Barchakli putting away the ball for the USA, and boy, did they need that. First point on the board then in set 5 for Team USA. No challenge coming, I don't think. Coach Guidetti says it was in. Let's just get on with it. Captain for the USA. Larson with the serve. Good pick up as well from her. Off pace from Barchakli, and Akosh just feeds the ball to Akan Radeo in the middle. And USA are level.
She was ready for that. She saw it coming. Just a little snap of the wrist. Put it away.
Good forceful spike from the 18-year-old Gunesh in that middle position. would be good from a neutral point of view is if we see both these great teams trading points all the way through this set. Chackley again from a long way off the net. Very difficult ball to hit, but she's got the job done nicely.
Yeah, I think she's been instrumental in the last couple of sets. And if she can sort of keep form in this race to 15, then USA will definitely have a strong chance.
Rodeo with the serve. Good shot, great feed from Hancock, but that's a big hit from Tatori Dixon.
Yeah, I think getting the middle involved whenever you can is always a good thing to do. And I think both these two teams know they've got good middles, they've got to use them because that's a quick and fast ball and a quick point.
Cross-court spike, well executed by Baladin. Shared some court time with Erkan today, but Baladin is the wing spiker that Guidetti goes with for this last set. And there is Karakurt, another youngster. We've got 3 teenagers on court at the moment. Big hit from the service line. And this will be coming back. Nicely put away. USA remaining patient in the rally. She's a fighter, isn't she? 19-year-old Karakurt doesn't give anything up.
I think she probably thinks I've got nothing to lose. I think it's her first season with the adult national team. She's just going for it. And why not?
I love that celebration from Erdem after that middle play. Hit the ball, stayed on the floor and just pointed at the bench. Very experienced pro. As the Turkish captain. Incredibly, for a middle blocker, has well over 180 points to her name so far.
Yeah, you usually see the wing spikers as the big point scorers, but she's definitely one of the Turkey's go-to hitters.
Sariolu in. And you can see, shorter than the libero that's on court already, Akkosh. That's because Sariolu is normally a libero, but if you ask your libero to play in a normal coloured shirt, then you can get them into the play now and again. They have a couple of defensive geniuses out on court, and they don't need them on that occasion. Ball doesn't come back. As we head towards our 8-point turnaround zone. So as soon as we get to 8 points, the teams will switch ends to make sure there's no advantage within this arena. Very good work again. USA trying to stay patient and wait for the chance to kill the point.
Great snap. Over the block, deep. Really difficult to defend that kind of ball.
Well, Tatori Dixon has done herself a few favours today. Played well since she's come onto court. But Turkey trade again. Great work from them. Ashbay to serve. Key part of the match here. 3 good rotations for Turkey. And well negotiated by Larson. Sarioglu can't rescue the situation. Good try from the number 20.
Yeah, when it hits the hands of the blockers and changes direction, it's really difficult for the defenders behind to see it early. You know, they might be standing, waiting for the ball to come to them, and then it hits off the block and goes in a completely different direction. And you've got to be stopped, you've got to be ready to move. But it's a difficult ball to pick up.
And look at that impact from Bart Shackley. That's a player that's come on from the bench, and he's now the top scorer for Team USA, and she did the best part of 2 sets on the bench. So an incredible impact from her, and surely a player that the USA will look to go to first up in their next game against Serbia. Oh dear, and the change of ends not doing Hancock any good at the service line. Frustrating miss from her. Scores level again. This is very, very close, this one, and it's really what we expected. Very tough to come into a tiebreaker and still dominate. And these teams continue to trade in this race to 15. Long serve from Turkey as well, from Ismailoglu.
Yeah, I think both teams know how important this game is. Not only for the mentality going forward, you know, it's the first game of the finals. You want to go into the next match with a bit of confidence.
Good serve from Larsen. And we finally get a serving court, and it's an ace from the American captain. Timeout called by Coach Guidetti as the USA open up a 2-point margin.
Coach Guidetti talking about reception again, that being sort of the fundamentals of being able to run the offense.
Well, it's still anybody's match. We know that. The USA with that little cushion, the mini break, as it were. So even if they don't make anything off this next point, they can still side out to retake a 2-point lead. And that's all you need to get the set across the line. Just keep doing that. Keep the scoreboard ticking over. And if only it were that easy at this level with world-class players like this down on the court. Larsen to serve again. Another good serve, another ace. And USA are pulling away in this deciding set.
That's a crucial point for them. They've got, with a 3-point lead, they've in a 15-point set, it's really difficult to come back from that.
Turkey have to go again. Karakurt is picked up. Oh, good scramble from Hancock. And again, Murphy puts it away, and the USA now on their way. And for the first time in this game, Kirai has shown us some emotion.
You can see the end in sight.
And there you go, not an unemotional player in his day, but tends to keep his cards pretty close to his chest as a coach. But he couldn't resist on that occasion. Celebrates the Murphy kill. 12-8, USA now in control. Back on the emotion has never been a problem for Coach Guidetti. And he's just trying to fire this team up to another push in this game. But it's going to be tough from here for Turkey.
Yeah, just mentally to get over that point deficit. It's going to be hard, but they'll have in the back of their mind the last time these two teams faced, and they'll be thinking, we can do it.
Larsen with the service run that may just have won the match for the USA. And their luck finally runs out. Karakurt, if they did have sleeves on those shirts, would certainly be wearing her heart right there. 89.5 kilometers per hour. She's hammered that into the corner.
I think one of the benefits of being young and maybe inexperienced is maybe you're not as afraid to just whack at the ball. You know, sometimes the older players will sort of tip and roll, but she's just going for it.
More experienced player on the back line now, Bosch. But that might be the last we see of Turkey's leading scorer coming into this match. calm put away from the Americans. And now it's about just turning the scoreboard over to 15. Just keep the points coming. Joaquin Rodeo to serve. Good swing. Nicely off the block and out. Andy Maladin. There are 3 teenagers out there at the moment. 19 years of age, plays with Zasabashu in the Turkish top division. Now the jump serve of Karakuk. Can she do anything here? No, off pace, easy pass for Robinson. And a nice kill from right at the top of that 3-meter-25 reach from Barchakli.
Yeah, you can see that Karakurt, she took a little bit off of that serve. She definitely wasn't feeling confident to go full guns blazing. And the USA took advantage of it. Perfect pass, easy point.
And 4 match points arrive for Team USA. They've turned this game around. Good cover from Larsen. Barchakli, wild swing and out. But according to the American players, that caught Baladin's head on the way past. So are they going to challenge? Carly Lloyd back on court to keep things calm through that last point, but it hasn't quite worked. So Hancock, the playmaker that started the last 2 sets, back in for the USA. 3 chances to attack for America here to get this one finished. And this time, Barchakli does it in style. A brutal spike down the line. And from 2 sets to love down,